Hi, how are you doing today? This is Frank. Thanks for taking a moment to watch this video and check out my channel. This video is going to be about the Dodge Charger SRT 392. I actually love this vehicle. I think it's got a great look. It's got a lot of road presence. I think you get a lot of value for the money. I know you get a lot of value for the money. And it's a great car at a really fair price. So if you're interested in Dodge Chargers and particularly the SRT 392, like I am, let's jump into this thing. I mean, we can see right off the bat that it's 485 horsepower. It's a lot of power. It's all motor. There's no turbocharger, no supercharger, just a big 6.4 liter Hemi V8, and that's just great. MSRP starts at 50,995, and as you'll see when we do this build, you can load this car up and it's not going to cost you that much. The crazy thing is if you wanted to try to buy the German equivalent, a BMW or a Mercedes or something like that, or an Audi, to get that kind of performance and all the options that you can get, you could certainly very easily be looking at another $25,000 or $30,000. So, and you're not necessarily getting more car. So, the Dodge Charger SRT 392 is a great value. Like you see here, 485 horsepower, 475 pound-feet of torque. So, it's a serious deal, right? Let's take a look at the powertrain. Like I said, 6.4 liter Hemi V8. Torque Flight 8-speed transmission. This thing's good to go. Track tested. It's got beautiful wheels. It rolls on 20 by 9 5-inch alloy wheels. They're 275s up front and 275s in the back. Now, I've owned quite a few nice European performance sedans, 550i's, E63s, and they run 275s on just the back. On this car, it's 275 with millimeter width tires all the way around. So that's a big meaty tire, especially on the front. And as you can see here on the exterior shots, it really is a gorgeous car. I've seen a few on the street and they are really attractive. So when they say rubbernecking, yeah, there's going to be some rubbernecking ahead because it's a beautiful looking car with a really nice interior. I think in the 2017 it's Apple CarPlay is standard. You get a Harman Kardon premium sound system. If you're not familiar with Harman Kardon, you'll normally find that on BMW and Mercedes products. But since we know that Mercedes and Chrysler collaborated, they were together for several years. Since they've split up, you can see some things in the Chrysler products, Chrysler and Dodge products, that are definitely a product of Mercedes and Chrysler coming together. I think they did for, I don't know, maybe 10 years or so. They've got beautiful seats, great seats, beautiful steering wheel, and just a really attractive car. So with that said, let's jump into this build and check out this Dodge Charger SRT, see how much it's going to cost us. So we know that its starting price, well, they've got the starting price right here at $52,240. If you come over here and you hit build and price, it opens up this page. I merely opened it up already before I started this video, so that way we didn't have to wait for the page to load. So this is obviously going to be your destination charge and all that other little stuff that nickel and dimes it up, right? We saw back here that the MSRP, it says it started at 50,995, and now we're at 52,240. So if we mouse over any of these I's, right, it'll tell us that's the base price. So maybe between the official SRT website, this is the official SRT website, and this is the site on Dodge, so we can see that there's a little bit of difference between that starting price, but maybe it's because this green color selected, I'm not sure. But the added options none, but the destination charge is $1,095. So you're looking at $1,100 just for the destination. So I mean, we're quibbling over a couple of bucks, but it's worth at least noticing that, right? So let's move on. Let's build it out. So I know these cars. I've taken a look at this before. There's not a whole bunch of options, and that's cool. And it makes it so where you can basically get a fully loaded, there's really no good reason not to get a fully loaded SRT 392. All right, so the powertrain, we already know the deal. It's a V8 6.4 liter Hemi. We can check out these details real quick. Says it's got fuel saver technology. So what that means is, and I've seen this in other videos and done some reading, is this car will operate as a 4-cylinder. It'll shut down 4 cylinders to conserve gas and stuff when the computer deems that it can do that with no big deal. So you're cruising down the highway or something like that, then it'll shift over into that fuel saver mode. I think that's pretty cool. All right, let's move on. This TorqueFlite 8-speed automatic transmission. Are there any notable details? I know that they come with paddle shifters on the steering column, so I know that's good. I've heard and read good things about this 8-speed transmission, so I don't think there's anything to worry about there. Engine block heater. I know from where I live over in the Pacific Northwest, then it does get a little chilly in the wintertime, but it's not so cold that I probably need an engine block heater, nor would I be leaving my brand new Dodge Charger 392 SRT out in the cold. I would certainly have it in the garage. So I'm not going to go ahead and add that. I think we can skip over that. The next is colors, and let's take a look at the colors. Okay, so that's the standard color that it comes with. So let's move on. If we move on to packages, oh yeah, because exterior, we get to choose that in a minute. So you got the technology group, and let's see what you get. And it's just, and I say just $1,600 because what all are you getting? You're getting adaptive cruise control with automatic braking, I'm assuming. Adaptive cruise control helps maintain select distances between your vehicle, and it can bring the vehicle to a stop and resume speed. So that's really cool. I can guarantee you that kind of technology in a Mercedes or a BMW, you're going to pay out the nose for just to have that. If you've compared any cars, I've done a build, and I'll leave a link to it in the description below, to the brand new BMW M550i. And you can see when I go through those packages, they will nickel and dime you for all kinds of things. You'll literally have to get 5 or 6 packages that are all expensive just to get everything that you might want. So I'll leave a link to that video in the description below. So you're getting a lot. Adaptive cruise control. Let me open that back up. Adaptive cruise control, advanced braking assist, automatic high beam headlamp control, full speed front wheel forward collision warning, lane departure warning, and lane keep assist. Power tilt telescope steering column, rain sensitive windshield wipers. Yeah, I'm in. $1,600. I'm in. And then the upgraded Harman Kardon system. I'm definitely in on that. 19 speakers, and if you haven't had a Harman Kardon speaker system, if you haven't had the opportunity to listen to them, they are wonderful. They are wonderful. I've never owned a car that's had one of these systems that was a letdown. They're wonderful systems, and you get a nice amp. Okay, you get a nice amp and a 19 speaker system for just $2,000. I'm in. So you're looking at $3,600 to basically completely do a fully loaded Dodge Charger SRT 392. I mean, I'm in. You can't even approach that with any of the German sedans that might be an equivalent, and get this performance out of it too. Okay, so where are we at? We're at $53,835. Let's go to the exterior. This should be, yes, where we can check our paint. Now, I don't know about you. I've owned a lot of cars, and I'm a real fanatic when it comes to detailing my cars, keeping them clean. I love for my cars to be polished. I don't want to see any dirt on my car or anything like that at any given time. So I've done a lot of detailing, and I said all that to say this, is that the dark colors, like if you see one of these black ones at the dealer or something like that, you see them online on Auto Trader or CarMax or something like that, they look beautiful. They look beautiful. The problem is that they pick up scratches and swirl marks, and when you're waxing it, you got to be careful what kind of towel you're using, how you're doing it. Are you going in circular motions? And it becomes, if you're someone like me that loves to keep your car looking spotless at all times, then it turns into a job, and then it makes the car less fun. And this is not a small car. It's a very big car. So, yeah. Based on that, I tend to go for the lighter colors. I think the white looks good. I've seen those online. They look really, really good. The red looks good. I never thought that I'd really be into a red car, and it is a darker color, but it's not the same work as say a black car if you want to keep it perfect, or it's just different kind of work. I think the red looks good, and I'm all about silver. I like silvers as well. Like I said, I've owned a number of German sedans, and I always like silver. But if I had to pick between these three colors, I probably would go with the white. I probably would go with the white. They call it white knuckle exterior paint, and there's no extra charge. Looks like the only one you have to pay $700 extra for is for the red line tri-coat. Now, unfortunately, this Dodge configurator is not as nice as, if you go over to BMW and build a car out, or you go over to Mercedes and build a car out. And when you come to a site like this, it leaves a lot to be desired. So even though we can see the color of the paint, it doesn't give us a really great representation of how it really looks, right? As you can see here, doesn't give it a perfect representation, but we got a good look at it. The wheels are what they are. You get the hyper black. There's no other color apparently, and that's too bad, because I usually like that gray, the dark gray that they do sometimes. And it seemed like the 2016, I've seen those, but now it seems like, well, I guess you can only do hyper black, unless hyper black means that super dark gray. Let's see. Does it tell us that? Now, see, in this picture, it looks like that dark gray. And so I like that, right? I like that. All black wheels, that's become really popular, but I'm not a big fan of that. But if it's this color that's more of a gunmetal, then I'm down. Then that's great. And I think that's what it is. And again, see, this doesn't even show a good representation of that, because this picture clearly, while dark, is not black. And you look at this and it leads you to believe that it is black. Okay, let me go back and change my color, because I did not want to select this red tri-coat, nor did I want to select red. I wanted to select white. There we go. All right, so we're at $53,835. What we do have a selection on is, do we want summer tires or all-season tires? And 3-season tires, right? They call these. For me, I'm not opposed to running 2 sets of tires, because in the winter time you might want to run a narrower tire anyway, especially if you're in a snow state. Wider tires will sit on top of the snow. You're going to spin out more. A narrower tire will cut down through and get to the bottom and go through. If you ever look at like snow tires, like on like extreme vehicles, they're always narrower, right? I don't know if you ever watch rally racing, but when they race in the snow, they have really skinny tires. When they're racing on dry pavement, their tires are really wide. So that kind of tells you something there. But obviously, this is going to cost you extra. Now, can you probably switch your tires out once a year? You could. It'd probably be easier to buy a secondary set of wheels and then keep your winter tires on those, and it makes it easier to bolt them up. But I'm thinking to myself, I think I would stick with, even though my heart tells me to go with these summer tires, the reality is that I'm not going to be driving crazy like that. Even though these cars have a lot of performance, everybody's making cars with all this performance. At the end of the day, you can only really drive in the speed limit legally. And if I was going to do something like go to the track, then I would buy a set of wheels and tires that were just for when I wanted to go do that. So I think I'm going to go with the all-season tires. I think that's a smart thing. You've got 275/40s all the way around, so you can rotate your tires and do all that. So I think I'm just going to stick with the all-seasons. Right, but this is a really cheap price, because I guarantee you, when you get ready to replace these Pirelli P0s, it won't be $600. It'll never be cheaper than it is right now. So if you did want summer tires, go ahead and get them now, because if you got these and then decided you want these, you won't get them for 600 bucks. That's a for sure. The black painted roof, I'm not really a big fan of that. I could skip over that. What are the details? I think it's just a decal, right? Well, they say painted, so I guess it's not a decal. But for 1,500 bucks, I don't think it's going to add to the attractiveness. I like shiny, so I want my paint, and that includes the roof, to be shiny. So I'm going to leave that. I can skip that. That's a cost that I certainly don't need to incur, and it's not going to make the vehicle better, nor is it going to make it worth more come time for resale. So let's go finally to the interior, and by default it comes with the black Laguna leather SRT leather. The reason why I say SRT is because I did some reading, and apparently if you get an SRT product, then the leather is of a different quality, meaning higher quality, than if you got another Dodge Charger with leather on it, like a Scat Pack or an RT, because I think both of those, I know a Scat Pack you can do 392 in there, get the same engine, and I think an RT you can do that. I might have to do a video on those two so we can find out exactly if that's the case. For me, let's see, this Alcantara, right, what that does is that puts like that faux suede down the center of your seat. And for me, it's always been about wearability. How well is that stuff gonna wear? And it doesn't matter whether it's in a Dodge product or a Mercedes. I always just think, how is that gonna wear over the long term? Maybe not so well. And I think that ultimately, and it's gonna hold sweat and stains and smells, and none of that sounds very cute. So based on that, I'm probably gonna go with the black. I think the black's good. I think this sepia is very attractive as well. Let's take a quick look at that real quick. I think the sepia is really attractive, and I've seen some cars with it, but I think there'll come a day where you want to resell this car or get rid of it, and I think that you just can never go wrong with black leather interior. You can never go wrong with black leather interior. You just can't. So I'm going to stick with that. Not only do I think it's attractive personally, I like that, but when it comes time to sell this car on, you can't go too wrong with black leather interior. All black leather interior. I mean, you just really can't. And there'll be plenty of people that like a white color car as well. When you start going with those other colors like greens and stuff, it makes the resale really difficult, and at some point you might want to move on from the car. So that's that. No extra charge. We're still sitting at $53,835. Power sunroof, yeah, definitely going to get that. I'm not big on opening sunroofs, but again, from a resale value standpoint, it's going to add a lot more value to your car to have that sunroof in there. The red seatbelts, yeah, why not? That sounds fun, and it's only a couple $100. So let's jump over to summary and see where we're at. Okay, so included, we've got the engine, the transmission. We paid $1,600 for the technology group. The white paint was free. The wheels are standard. I went with the all-season tires because I think, well, based on how I know I'd be driving the car, which is regular, going to the grocery store, going here and there, not speeding, not doing anything crazy, all-season tires probably would work, right? Otherwise, I don't really have a value for those Pirellis. I really can't justify getting them for how my driving style is going to be. And I'm sure these offer up plenty enough grip. I'm sure. Then we got the Laguna leather seats with the SRT logo embossed in them. The Uconnect, right? Let's look at the details on that because I'm almost positive, it doesn't tell us. I'm positive that Apple CarPlay comes as part of that package. It's just standard equipment. Yeah, it is. It is standard equipment as well as for the Samsung, the other devices too. Power sunroof, we thought, yeah, why not? Even though I don't do that a lot, there's times I don't mind opening up the sunroof. And then again, from a resale value standpoint, it's all the money there. You can't go wrong. You'll always get your money back for that sunroof. And then as far as the seatbelts are concerned, it's just fun. It's cheap and it's fun and it adds this raciness to the interior. So that's pretty cool. So grand total out the door, we're looking at $55,250 or $225. All in all, not bad at all. Not bad at all. And like I said at the beginning of this video, you get a lot of value for that money. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And what I'd like to know is, what options would you get on your Dodge Charger 392 SRT? What color would you go for? What would be your interior choices? What do you think about that engine block heater? Because would your car really be sitting outside? I'd love to know the answers. And if you feel like it, comment below. Okay? And please like this video. All right. Thank you.